So my project was redeveloping the Mears Council housing to make it more sustainable and eco-friendly and affordable as well. So my reasons for choosing this project were particularly my passion for architecture and my willingness to do it at university and to take it to a higher level, and also my realisation that I need more buildings, more environmentally friendly buildings that are affordable and available to every member of the community as well. And I'm also trying to inspire other communities to do the same and develop council housing that is eco-friendly as well. My research was based mainly around the UN and the IPCC reports on sustainable development. I also visited the school library and the local library for books on eco-friendly buildings and sustainable technologies as well. I also spoke to current inhabitants of the council housing who said that the apartments were quite small and that there's high maintenance costs and the electricity costs are also quite high as well. My organisation was based mainly around, so the three main points of this were finishing the final model, the discussion section, and the project brief. So the final model is the main part of my project, as well as the sketchbook, finishing that off, and the presentation, of course, today. So the limitations were that I lacked the knowledge in conducting an architectural investigation and the precision required to complete such a task. Also, I needed to teach myself precision drawing in architecture, so drawing from perspective. This was the original site, so moving on to the design development. As you can see, there are no private balconies, there are no children's play areas, and the convenience store here, the space could be used around the space around the convenience store could be used in a much better way with more members, so if you made it bigger, with a cafe and a workspace so that people could work at home. And with the cafe, it's a 10-minute walk away from the rest of the town. So for old people and for disabled people, it's better for them. This was my inspiration. So with at the bottom here, this was social balconies. So trying to increase social interaction around the site and decreasing loneliness. This on the left was the L'arbre Blanc. I was interested by the balconies, the layout of the balconies, and how each and every one focus on a different aspect of the city around, and how there's a cafe at the top as well, with planters on each of the balconies for nature. Also on the right hand side, that's Michael Rich's Norwich Council housing, where they have low maintenance costs and insulation, and this was my design process. I started off with the plans and organising the layout of the area, and I then went on to balconies, rendering using watercolour, and then I went on to the final sketches at the bottom with some concept models on the right. At the top, that's the current layout of the apartment buildings, and then in the middle, that's looking at the solar panels, and at the bottom, looking at how I can make the area more green with landscaped areas on the roof with green roofs as well. This was my final model. I was actually quite impressed with how this came out, because I've never done one of these before. I used a laser cutter and used a program on the computer to draw the sites around the area, and then I used the laser cutter as well to cut all the individual bits of the building. This model is 1 to 500, So I was unaware of the precision required, so I had to redo some bits of the model. These two buildings on the right here are the cafe and the workspace, based close together so that to enable easy access between the two. And then the three larger buildings are the apartment buildings, and then behind is the bike storage, and on the right hand side all the way over there is the compost and recycling collection points. And so I was trying to increase the use of recycling and reusing. My improvements to the original sites included private balconies, more trees, more green areas, planters on the balconies as well, and with the option for solar panels. I included passive house certification for low energy and maintenance costs. So by using triple glazed windows and extra materials within the walls, I could decrease maintenance costs and energy demand as well. I also added a wildflower garden and more trees for mental health and well-being, and leisure spaces for all, including a children's play area and the cafe and workspace. Okay, so that's it with my project. If you have any questions, I would like to hear them. Thank you.
So, you spoke to the local residents who complained about the lack of space in apartments, they were too small. How have you reflected that input into your design?
So I've made the apartment slightly bigger in size, but I've also increased the size of the private balconies. I've added private balconies so that you can use more of the space around your apartment. And those balconies also have good views towards the River Thames and behind towards the Herodian School as well. Yeah.
Will you have as many flats or houses as there were before?
Yes, so I'll have the same number of flats.
Same number, right.
Yeah, but the apartments on the top floor will be they have bigger balconies, and they'll be sold during planning, off plan, for more money to help fund the project as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you most satisfied with about this project?
I was most satisfied with the outcome of some of the drawings, but especially the final model, because I've never done one of those before, and it impressed me the precision required and how it turned out. I was very impressed with as well, and I'm proud of that as well. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.